I want to share an important message. If you missed the bottom of the crash in 2020 and you haven't doubled or even tripled or quadrupled your money on some of the best performing stocks of the past year, then the next phase of this market could be the last great opportunity to see substantial gains. In short, a very strange day is coming to America, and I predict it'll send one particular type of investment absolutely soaring. And we know this because of an incredible new secret we've created for everyday Americans. Essentially, Tom, we've developed a way to see which stocks could soon take off by 100 to 500% or more.
Wow.
By predicting the future stock ratings of more than 4,000 different companies.
And today we're going to have you explain and even demonstrate what you created here, Mark. But one thing I want to mention right up front here, what you're about to see is arguably the most successful stock predictor we've come across in the 22-year history of our firm. For example, in 2014, it pointed to NVIDIA. Mark immediately recommended the stock up as much as 3,200% since then. In 2020, it pointed to electric vehicle maker NIO up 884% in about 8 months. Biotech firm Novavax up 335% in 2 months. And Fulgent Genetics up 799% in around 9 months after Mark's system pointed to it. All during a year that saw the worst crash since 2008 and the biggest and fastest market turnaround in history. Pretty impressive considering all investments carry some level of risk and not everything can be a triple-digit winner. But Mark, to me, the really powerful thing about your secret is that you can sometimes smell the opportunity before you can actually even see it. In fact, you've recommended dozens of stocks that went on to more than double, having no knowledge of the company at all, even in situations where it's nearly impossible to predict the future, like an approval by the FDA. So what have you created exactly here, Mark?
Tom, we've developed a system, and for me, one of the best ways to explain its power is to share something that happened to me some years ago on national TV. I was invited to appear on CNBC Fast Money. Priceline.com was due to report earnings the next day. They paired me up with a legendary trader, Jon Najarian, and had us both share our opinions about Priceline.
A prediction of the stock.
Right, except I knew nothing about Priceline.com. So I gave myself a huge and unfair advantage over the rest of the investment world. I sat down and typed the stock ticker into the system we're going to share with you today, which is the culmination of my life's work. And Tom, with one glance, I saw that the stock would soon be rated bearish, meaning it was likely to be rated a sell tomorrow morning on Wall Street after the earnings came out. So I told the anchor I would get out immediately.
So what did the other guy say?
At first, he was against me. But after the show, he said I took a harder look at the company since Marc Chaikin doesn't like the stock.
And what happened next there, Mark?
Tom, I'm told it was the first time in history of CNBC Fast Money that they did a reprise the next day. The stock had dropped more than 100 points overnight, and the money manager who took my advice, Jon Najarian, went on the air and admitted that anyone who took my advice and bet against Priceline.com would have done extraordinarily well. In fact, he publicly said, Mark's prediction worked out like a charm. One particular bearish play went from $1.80 last night to $15 or $16. Jon said, great call by Marc Chaikin. That's a 733% overnight return.
Wow.
And that brings me to the essential secret of my life's work. In short, if you want to make serious money in the market, there's one thing you need to understand. Nothing makes a stock go up or down faster than the actions of institutional investors. When a bank starts pouring in hundreds of millions of dollars into a stock, it can shoot up overnight and go on to rise hundreds or even thousands of percent, all because of the sheer quantity of institutional money flowing in. But the big question is, what causes banks to buy these stocks in the first place?
Well, most analysts look at earnings, news announcements, industry developments, and that kind of thing.
Sure, but all those factors add up to create the stock rating. You see, almost every public company has a rating on Wall Street, which you can find on Bloomberg or Yahoo Finance. It's either a buy, a hold, or a sell. And the fact is, what I've learned after half a century on Wall Street is that when the research side of a bank issues a rating that's bullish, the investment side will start buying it hand over fist. And that's where I have a huge, and you might say, unfair advantage. In short, I know exactly which stocks the banks are most likely to buy next because I built the very indicator they use to help determine the stock ratings.
You're talking about the indicator that was personally named after you and appears on every Bloomberg terminal on Wall Street.
That's correct. After 2008, when my wife lost so much money, I decided to take that indicator and rebuild it as a system for everyday folks that essentially shows you tomorrow's stock ratings on Wall Street today. It's a system that provides online cheat sheets for more than 4,000 stocks, showing exactly what the stock is most likely to be rated over the next 3 to 6 months. My wife has made 3 times her money overall just by doing what we're going to demonstrate today.
And I can imagine, I mean, if you knew that one of the biggest hedge funds in New York was about to turn bullish on a little biotech stock, you definitely want to get your money there first.
Tom, nothing can make you richer than getting a piece of an unknown stock ahead of the smart money on Wall Street.